y'all, it's Ordinary Hero here, back with another Sims 4 video. So today I am breaking my pattern of doing my Renovating the Largest Apartment series really quickly because Vixella just released a shell challenge, and A, I love shell challenges because then I don't have to build the outside, someone else has already built it for me, and B, not gonna lie, the first thing that came to my head was free clout. Something's wrong with me, but whatever. So yes, I am turning Vixella's Shell Challenge into a barn because I wanted to curve roofs. And why not then turn it into a barn? And I know I just cut through a whole lot of exterior planning and stuff like that, but this video is already going to be, I think, my longest video ever on my channel. So I figured, no one's going to care, and hey, maybe I'll get to talk about some random things that my brain has been stuck on for forever. Hamilton. But anyway, yeah, this was honestly a whole lot of fun to do. I really enjoyed this challenge. I want more creators to post their shell challenges because they're fun to do. And yeah, in just a second, the lot just changed, and because I realized I wanted a bigger lot so that I could make a nice, huge backyard. So the vibes I was going for with this house was a barn, kind of rustic and abandoned, where, not abandoned, there's a family living there. They just are really bad at lawn care. I don't know, I really wanted to mess up a front yard and use all those grass plants and just make it look super pretty. And so I did. And it looked kind of cool. And, I liked it. And so I stuck with it. And it's my own opinions on what I build, so, come on. Anyway, so yes, this was so much fun to do. I used that season's door and a bunch of base game content. Although, once we get into the rest of the house, that doesn't happen nearly as much. But yeah, I just wanted to have some fun building and build something that I actually wanted to build. And because those apartments, they're kind of fun, but they're also really boring and kind of tedious. And so I just wanted to change a pace. So yeah. I put a sliding door on the side because I wanted there to be an outdoor entertainment area, which you'll see me build much later. But basically, I used the bump outs. If they were 2-story bump outs, I just used them as, normal places. And if it was just as just normal rooms, I didn't want to build anything on top. But anyway, here's where I started going crazy with these grass pieces. And you may be thinking, what the heck is going on? But it looks a whole lot better when I add a crap ton of all sorts of different bushes. I use the same, I think, 4 or 5 bushes throughout the whole place. They're all base game plants, so everyone has access to them. But they were so much fun to use because, well, they all fit really nicely. And it just gave that run-down look without, me having to really try, because I could just randomly click my mouse while holding the shift key, which will allow you to multiple place things if they don't naturally multi-place. And that way I just, covered the whole area. And I end up doing the backyard later because I was like, well, I've got a theme going on now. Let's fix the front yard real quick, put some trees up, and then I'll get into the interior, which was the fun part and also kind of challenging. And there's going to be another jump cut very soon because I didn't want to show the whole laying out of the interior process simply because it, again, was a pain in the butt. And this video was already going to be my longest video on my channel. And I figured I don't have a subscriber base that would want to watch that. So I got rid of it. So anyway, we have the layout. I have my main floor. I do mess with the main floor a little bit. I don't know why I still included some of this footage, but I did. And honestly, this video has already been a pain in the butt to do. So I doubt I'm going to edit this footage much more. But anyway, I originally was going to make that space over in the side room that really big square room. I originally was going to make it a study room, but then I realized with where I had placed the bathroom, I wasn't going to have a formal dining room. And because I wanted this to be ideally a family of 8, I think I put just enough space for 8 Sims, which is perfect because that way you have the max number of Sims. But anyway, I wanted it to be a rustic farmhouse. I don't know why, but I just got the whole the parents kind of don't have total control of their children and the kids kind of run everywhere, but they also I don't know. I wanted to have fun. There's a lot of red accents in this house because, red fit the barn theme really well. And I like the red accents, and it gives me a chance to use things that I wouldn't have otherwise used, like the red parenthood appliances, and the red microwave, and the red dishwasher, and all these red appliances I wouldn't have naturally used. And so, I think that was fun. I was just having fun with this house. I recorded this last night, just trying to goof off, de-stress, because that's what gaming's supposed to be. That's what this channel is supposed to be, but I was letting it stress me out too much. Anyway, so I put the Seasons dining table in here. And then I go through this whole spiel with the stairs where, like, I debate whether or not I chose the right railing and try to change the railing upstairs. And it was just a pain in the butt. Like, honestly, I don't know why I debated that so much. Also, this has taught me that Seasons does not have consistent wood swatches. How hard is it for you guys to just develop a consistent set of wood swatches that you can put on everything? Come on, Sims team. Not that hard. Well, anyway, there's not really that much to say about these houses. I mean, I have right here, I put 2 toddler chairs, but then I only ever put 1 toddler bed in this house because my view of the house changed into more of a, like, they have more older kids and, I don't know. My view of the house changed. And so there are more beds, more chairs at the table than I would have put. I love this artwork from Seasons, and it had a barn in it, and I was like, heck yes, I'm going to include this in the house, like all over the house. I only managed to stick it in like 3 places, so I showed restraint here, but like, come on, it was so much fun. But I wanted to do a spandrel across the whole thing. Well, actually, I didn't want to do a spandrel across the whole thing, but the only way to not do a spandrel across the whole thing was to like put a ton of work in. Anyway, this house is honestly, I don't think you need me to voice over this whole thing, but it makes it a little more interesting and makes me feel like I'm doing more with my time and like actually producing quality content, and like all the quality content simmers I watch do this kind of thing. So like, I don't know. This was honestly the easiest room of the house because all you have to do is put a bunch of chairs and tables around. And it was at this point I realized I hadn't put windows on any side of the house other than the front and the complicated side. And so I just literally had a boxy right angle. And so I got rid of a lot of stuff and fixed a lot of stuff. And I just wanted this farmhouse to have a rustic feel to it, but not like overly rustic, because there is such thing as too much of that. And I didn't want to go like full Seasons mode. I end up moving that painting upstairs so many times, it's ridiculous. I think I may use one of the other swatches from that Seasons painting. But, you know, there just weren't very many open wall spaces in the entire building. And so I just end up using mostly, like, nothing on the walls. Not mostly nothing. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. English is failing me. But yeah, I end up not putting a lot on the walls because I put a ton of windows in the house. And then between windows and doors and showers and refrigerators and all of that. Yeah. So I thought that this like breakfast bar area was more of a like, I don't know, like the kids do their homework here area, because I don't know why, but mentally they have 5 kids who are school age and 1 toddler. Because I don't know. I wanted to. I was having fun. My view of the family who lives in this house changed like every 5 minutes. I wanted to stick some cute decorations up, but then thought it kind of looked stupid and none of them were red. And the whole point of this house was to be red, so it just didn't work. I wanted some kids decorations, and I just ended up sticking with that Parenthood decoration. I use a ton of Parenthood in this house, by the way. Anyway, I was going to use that light floor, but then switch to the dark floor. Although I still think the dark floor looks too, like, villain. I don't know. It's really hard to do red in a nice childlike way because all the red swatches have black accents and then they just look like an evil villain. Like, before I started my YouTube channel, I decorated one house for like my evil villain character, and like all his stuff was red or black. And I made a little smiley face with a tongue sticking out of mason jars, but because you can't see it in any of the screenshots, it defeats the point. But yeah, they have this cute mason jar decoration that I really liked. So I used it, and I don't know. I love using that tall cabinet and then sticking a little thing in it because it's not quite wide enough like all the other cabinets, and it bugs me. Because, like, EA, it's not that hard to be consistent. Why do you struggle so much? I don't know. I just wanted a lot of red accents, and so I put a ton of red accent stuff. This is where I go a little bit crazy on the live edit objects and then, like, never use live edit objects ever again. I don't know why I did this. Probably never will. That's okay. But, yeah, I went kind of ham on the live edit objects and stuck stuff everywhere. I still don't know why I allowed them to have 2 high chairs and then like only 1 toddler bed. But, you know, I don't know. Originally part of it is because originally I had a crib upstairs. But then I was like, wait a minute, this is already over the sim count and like I don't want to deal with this. So, yeah. It was honestly, it was interesting. It's kind of boring. I don't know what I was looking for that spice rack. I was like, why am I spending so long? on this one thing. So, like, yeah, that spice rack was honestly really hard to place upright because it kept wanting to slot to the thing because not all the slots were filled. I don't know. This is all confusing. This house kind of confuses me. But, you know, here we are. I love that big rug, and I finally got a chance to use it in the right spot, and I'm really happy about that. But yeah, the red rugs are the worst, though, because you have to make sure they all don't look like crap, while also, like, because if you one wrong rug and the whole house will look like it belongs to a supervillain. And that is not the vibe I was trying to get with this house. But because there were windows everywhere, it made it really, really hard to, like, put anything up against the walls. And then when I had wall space, I, had something in the way. And so I, like, never put anything up on the walls. So yeah, I use this tan wall color in 2 rooms of the house downstairs. And then upstairs, I get a little more funky with the patterns because I went, I tend to use the same, like, 3 wallpapers in every single build I do. Because they look good and they're not too chaotic. And I don't know. So this couch makes me so happy because it's red and it doesn't look like a villain couch. Like, how hard is it to get that kind of stuff? But no, all the other, like, chairs and such are, like, the tiny living stuff is all in this weird color palette. And I didn't want to get a lot of grays in here because I wanted it to feel very warm and family friendly. Like, a family lives here. But the problem with all the red stuff is the red stuff doesn't have the family stuff, and it's just so irritating. Anyway, I use that one lamp from Tiny Living that doesn't have a slot on it and therefore is kind of totally useless, but, it looked cute in this scenario, and it matched all the wood tones I had in the rest of the house. Well, kind of, I don't know. I put the Seasons painting in a different swatch there. Are you proud of me? I used more than just, like, the same 3 swatches of the Seasons painting. Anyway, over here, I really wanted to put in a, like, fake washer dryer because I'm a broke person who doesn't have laundry day because it would have, when I had money, I didn't buy it because at the time I was doing a 100 baby challenge. And if you want me to do gameplay on the channel, I'm not opposed to it. It just means I have to kick out my family for longer, but whatever. And so, like, if you guys care, drop a comment down below. But anyway, I basically put a ton of, like, laundry stuff in here because I wanted to actually include laundry in a house for once. And, make the house feel a little more lived in. And I'm kind of proud of that thing. But yeah. So then we have the issue of that one roof seam. And what you didn't see because I cut it out is I spent a ton of time trying to get these rooms to all work right. And I couldn't get it to work right, and so I just gave up and stuck a closet there because, closets are the solution to most problems. And honestly, it looks pretty good. It covers up the space. I end up moving around the doors upstairs so many times. So, like, don't get too stuck on any door position because it's going to change. Because the kids' bedroom in particular was so hard. But anyway, I had to use the varnish bed in this house. Like, how could I not? It's a barn. The bed is red. And, like, it was just perfect. And so, yes. I think I only ended up using one of these nightstands because I realized that I don't have a computer anywhere else in the house. And, like, in order to make the house functional, I need a computer. So I ended up putting it back. Oh, goodness. Yeah. This room, it's okay. It's just kind of a hot mess. Because none of the Sims stuff that I have is, like, small enough to fit in any of the nooks and crannies. And it just ends up looking weird. And while I don't hate this room, I don't particularly like it. I don't like what I did with it. I don't even know, like, my views of the parents changed constantly from, like, I don't know why, but YouTube likes to recommend me all these, like, super nanny videos, and because I keep YouTube in the background of my life 24/7, like, I end up watching them, and so my brain constantly went between, parents in need of, like, severe parenting help, and, like, super strict parents, and then, like, those weird families that just have, like, way too many kids for their own good. Like, I don't know why, probably never will, but that's what was in my head. Those 3 different concepts were in my head the whole time, and so, like, my view of this family changed, like, every 5 minutes. At first I was like, well, we'll just have, like, a crap ton of kids and make it super messy to fit with the whole, like, parents that don't know what they're doing theme. And then I was like, well, though, I really like the whole idea of other, like, it just changes. And so this house reflects that and is kind of a total mess. But, that's okay. It's okay. I just realized I didn't put any mirrors in this bathroom. I'm sorry. But honestly, I could care less. Also, I know that laundry basket is in the way of a sink, but your Sims like never use sinks. Like, whoever actually uses the dang sink? So anyway, we're moving on to the bedroom that I assumed was the boys' bedroom. Originally, this bedroom was going to fit 4 Sims, but then I realized that's kind of ridiculous, and I dropped it down to 3. For all of the kids' beds, I use that same style of bed because they have that in both toddler sizes, regular size, and like adult size beds. And I was like, heck yes. So I end up moving the baby bed, the bassinet outside of their room, and then just eventually get rid of it. But yeah, the goal was to be able to fit all 7. Originally, there were going to be 7 kids, but I think I ended up dropping it down to 6 simply because I realized that the baby was just totally impractical and didn't get any of the space he deserved. But because it's a shell challenge, I can't just make my house bigger. So I just got rid of the child. I'm sorry. Anyway, but yes, we're on to the bathroom. All the kids share one bathroom. There are only 3 bathrooms in this entire house and 3 bedrooms, and yet it somehow miraculously fits a whole 8 Sims. So yeah, it was great, just great. But I really wanted to use like actual laundry hampers in every room because that's something I always forget. Also, sticking a toddler potty in this room was really hard. I ended up having to like shrink the cabinets weird, and it's not the greatest, but it'll do. Also, I think I forgot toilet paper in the parents' bathroom thing. But considering that like your Sims don't need toilet paper because like I mean, they have a lot of different random magic superpowers, including like the ability to pull ingredients out of a refrigerator, and like with like just like their fridges are magic. Is no one gonna acknowledge this anyway? But yeah, I cluttered up some toddler stuff by the toddler's bed. I don't put very many kids things in this house, but I do have a monkey bar set outside, and I also put a lot of stuff in the girls' room. I also put that scouting board up simply because like why not? Anyway, I cluttered this room up. So the vision in my head when I was making this room is the bed next to the door is for a like 12-year-old boy who's got a lot of younger siblings and wishes that they weren't all so like little so that he could go to bed and stay up late like normal people. And then he's got like an 8-year-old brother, and then he has his like 4-year-old brother, 5-year-old brother, like that kind of thing. And then for the girls' room, which I end up finding the right bed, but it takes me some time, so I can explain. For the girls' room, I expected that there was like a 16-year-old girl, and then like a 14-year-old girl, and then like a 9-year-old girl, and that like their brother was kind of envious of the fact that like they all had, they could all like go to bed at a relatively normal time because he's stuck going to bed on the toddler schedule because he can't sneak into his own bedroom at night. Anyway, but yeah, I have a double bed because I don't know, siblings can share beds. I've shared a bed with my cousin before when we were stuck at beach houses and stuff. So like I figured that was normal. I don't know. If it's not normal, meh, I don't care. It makes sense. This house is already crammed. I didn't have time to shove another bed in. I do stick a desk in this room, because I figured, the eldest sister likes to be able to do her own thing, and she's like out of the house all the time because she doesn't want to deal with her siblings, and sometimes she takes her like 14-year-old sister with her. But yeah. Anyway, I end up moving that toy box downstairs into a little corner in between the kitchen and the dining room, just so that the mom had a spot to like have the toddlers play, well, or like the small kids play, so she could get her work done and like cook and actually see the children. Because I don't know, it made sense to me, and that corner was already empty. And I do put a dollhouse there because they had a dollhouse with a red roof, and it looked cute. And you can shrink down dollhouses, and your Sims can still play with them. So like, why not? And then I put a toddler potty in that bathroom as well. And then I go back up to the girls' room. I didn't put any rugs upstairs. This was intentional. Who puts a rug on a carpet? If you do, you're a weirdo. Unless it's like one of those rugs that's like, like a plastic sheet so you can roll your like rolly chair around. Then I guess that makes sense, but still. Anyway, I put a grill outside. I wanted outside to be their big entertaining area. And, like the main floor like looks good and all that, but like it doesn't cover it up very well. Anyway, I put like a nice ottoman out there, and then I put 2 of those tables and some nice white chairs. Just made it look a little more put together. And then I end up covering that whole area in terrain paint so that I can then and then I make a path. So basically, that's a clear area, and then we have a path, and the path goes to 2 different locations. It goes to, oh my gosh, I'm cluttering it up again. It goes to the gazebo and to there's a little monkey bar set in that corner that I really wanted in there because Like, if you have such a big house, why not have a monkey bar set? Like, I feel like they'd have something outside, and the monkey bars make more sense than the swings, because the swings just look too nice and modern, and I wanted something that looked a little more destroyed. So, like, this was perfect. I can't remember what I ended up doing, how I ended up making that octagon. It was such a pain to do because I had, like, no open space with all my random plants in the front yard and such. And I kept pulling out the wrong tool, and it was just great, but I did it. And then the gazebo was the only thing on a foundation. I intentionally didn't put the main house on a foundation because then I'd have to do stairs in and out of things, and I didn't want to do that because, I don't know, I had opinions. That fence was really hard to delete. It took me like 3 tries, which was a lot for my brain that was just like, come on, Sarah, you better be able to go to bed. So yeah, that was great. But I got this roof on. It looked halfway decent. The gazebo looked halfway decent. I don't think I ended up changing the roof tile for the gazebo. Oh, no, I do. I do. Hooray! I actually changed the roof tile. I tend to forget to change roof tiles, although I did it on the actual barn because I wanted like a yellowy, not quite thatched roof texture, but you know, something like that. Anyway, and now we're just cluttering things up. I'm actually getting close to the finale of this video because, you know, I tried something different this week with a lot of different screenshots, like a lot of screenshots. So I'm sorry if I overload your brains with screenshots. But I wanted to like actually capture the inside of the house rather than just it looking kind of depressing. So I did that. Also, why did none of these foundations actually look white? It was so irritating. I just wanted a white foundation, but it didn't work. So I just ended up going with like a basic one. And I put another tree outside. I put a couple trees outside. Just wanted the house to look complete. And then we're on to the screenshots. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, as it really does help me out. And with that, folks, I will see you all next Monday. Also, guys, I just wanted to briefly mention, I just hit 10 subscribers. I know that's not that many, but like, thank you all for supporting me. And if you got this far, hooray, thank you.